The new event is here along with the new mech and weapon, but today we're going to be looking at the newest addition to the gear hub, which is the Vipers. You can see here I can buy the Viper 8 now for 800,000 credits, and that's what I'm going to be using in this video. So here's the build I'm going to be using. I've put the Viper 8s onto my Aegis. We're going to be testing them out in some matches and seeing how well these weapons can perform. Alright, so here we are in our Viper Aegis. I want to see how much damage we're able to do. It looks like 3,000 per bullet shot and then 15,000 per missile. So the Viper fires, it fires a bunch of bullets, and then I think every 8 shots it fires a missile. So in total it has 40 ammo, meaning it will fire 5 missiles if you fire the whole magazine at the enemy. So the Viper kind of has bursts of DPS. Obviously, we're doing a bit of damage with those little bullets, and then we do a lot more damage when we get our missile to hit the enemy. So, of course, you want to hit them with everything, but the main thing is you want to hit them with the missiles. And the missiles do kind of track on to the enemy, which is kind of nice. But overall, the Viper is not like a crazy good weapon or anything. But it is gonna, it will do some work, especially at lower levels, which you're not gonna want to buy like the higher energy Vipers. I would never recommend that to anyone unless you specifically just really like Vipers and want to use them. Then you could do it if you wanted, but otherwise I would not ever recommend it. So the 8 and 6 are for credits, I believe, and then all the 3 energy variants that are higher, the 10, 12, 16, those are all for 8 coins in the gear hub now, so I would never buy those. But I would say that the 8 or the 6 are definitely potentially worth it for you, especially if you have the right type of pilot. So these are assault weapons. I'm using the Neymar, normal Neymar pilot. If you have that, it could definitely be worth it, or if you have like a legendary, or maybe the epic free Acantha pilot we got a little while back. Either of those could make it worth using these. But yeah, the Vipers are a sustained fire weapon, which, means they have a larger magazine, right? You have to fire these for a long time. Once you fire every 8 shots, again, you get the missile. So you want to keep firing for a long time to get as many missiles as possible to shoot, as many as possible at the enemy, because that's going to increase your damage. You can see I'm just using one weapon, but it still takes me quite a while to get rid of this kill shot. But over time, I am going to do a pretty significant amount of damage. You can see I have the highest damage in the match by a good margin as well, which is very nice. Right now, I feel like I'm not sure if these are going to be like my main weapon for Aegis. Maybe I'll use them sometimes, but not always. I might want to try them on a different mech, though. We probably won't in this video, but I might test them on some different mechs here I have on my free-to-play account. But yeah, what this means, so these are a sustained fire weapon. What that means, in general, for your build, you're going to want to have a mech that works well with a sustained fire weapon, which means it needs to be a more defensive mech that can, give itself cover. That's why I'm using Aegis. Tank mechs in general, or at least in theory, are going to work well. Not always in practice, because tank mechs in Mech Arena aren't like super tanky or anything. Like, they can't just sit in the open and take damage for the most part. The new mech, actually, Parasite, just came out today, and it could probably do pretty well with Vipers. But yeah, in general, you're going to want to have mech like Panther or Aegis, or I mean anything like that. Those guys give themselves a barrier. Blockhorn does that as well. It's any mech that's able to, sit in the open more, so it can continuously just, fire at the enemy, right? If there's enemies here, I just want to be able to sit here, and the dome allows me to do that. Stealth also allows you to do that, especially against bots, so that's the reason people use, like, miniguns on Eclipse. I would say miniguns are kind of like the, upgraded, better version of Viper, but those are not for credits in the Gear Hub. Those are all for A coins, so what that means is you're not going to be able to get those as quickly. They are absolutely worth getting, but these could be kind of like a baby step for that. Gotta watch out for this guy here. He's trying to get me with his Seeker. So yeah, especially I would say the 8s of this weapon could potentially be worth it. But overall, I want to test them out a bit more and see if I'm going to use them on my account. But yeah, let's see. I think we are going to lose this match here. Alright, here we are back on our Viper Aegis. That last match, we did do pretty good. We got like 10 kills and like 1 million damage. We got like the most damaging kills in the match. But I ended up losing later on after my Aegis went down because I didn't have enough beacon progress. So we're going to try to get more beacon, beacon progress and hold down more beacons this match. But we'll see what we can do. Hopefully that'll go okay. But of course, I am a tank mech, so it's not going to be super easy. Let's get this enemy player. He's trying to rush with his Surge. Very nice. You can see the tracking on the missiles there allows me to track him into the dash there. Very convenient. But I will say, one of the things that does counter Vipers is actually stealth. Of course, that Surge wasn't in stealth when I was tracking onto him, but normally he would have just, avoided all of my tracking from my missiles, which is one of the stronger parts of Viper, probably one of the more underrated parts of it, because, right there, it allowed me to kill that kill shot, like, around this little cover here. Very, very convenient feature. It makes it a lot easier to aim and just be successful in general. I can kind of do this, and hopefully those missiles will kind of track onto him. Yeah, right there. There we go. I'm getting rushed pretty hard. We need to get mid here. We are losing on beacons again. I do have a lot of damage, though. The damage, I mean, I've gotten 5 kills already. Very successful. I think we can get mid, maybe. Nice. Okay. But yeah, the stealth does counter the Vipers. So if you're fighting, especially in Eclipse, obviously Tengu sometimes has a bit of stealth. Mimicker also could have a pretty significant amount of stealth that you might have to worry about. I think, is the player in Surge, or what is he in? Oh, he's in Killshot, I think. He's got a pod gun Killshot. Sorry, but especially Eclipse. Eclipse is the main one. If you're fighting in Eclipse, you can do some damage with Vipers to Eclipse, but you're going to have like really good tracking and aim if you're going to want to like deal a significant amount of damage. So that is not ideal at all. In general, like if this player had an Eclipse or something, I would just kind of avoid it if I could. This is not going very well for our team so far. Let's put out a dome, finish off this Salvor. Nice. Let's get this guy as well. Nice. There goes another one of their mechs. Let's get this guy as well. So I feel like the damage on these is a bit underwhelming. Not as much as I was hoping for, I wouldn't say. But, I mean, it's not bad at all. It's only about 125,000 per mag, if I remember correctly, from the hangar. Which I have a rank 5, like, you know, near epic equivalent pilot. I believe these special rarity pilots are, well, both Neymars really, are better than epic pilots by a bit. But again, I mean, mine's only rank 5, but I feel like that's a pretty good rank to have. I think we're going to go down here. Yeah, okay. So, a lot of damage, but, I mean, right now I'm not able to push ground enough. I need to be able to take more ground than I am right now. My entire team is dead. Wow, this is quite sad. Crash this guy. Yeah, I'm stunned. GG's, wow. Okay. I feel like it wasn't a bad performance. I mean, it's top MVP, most kills and most damage of any singular build, but I just wasn't able to push and take ground here. Alright, here we go into another match. Our last 2 matches were kind of rough. I feel like my damage overall was pretty good. Like, I'm not doing like crazy damage, but it's still pretty solid. But what I've not been able to do is hold down beacons, so I'm losing on beacon control. So that's what I need to do in these next matches, or this match at least. Hopefully we can get us a win here though. But yeah, you know, overall, are Vipers worth it for you to get them, right? That's the main question we want to answer today. And I would say overall, in general, probably not. It's not impossible that they would be a good option, but for a lot of players, they're probably just not going to, you know, do the trick. Like for me, I'm a bit past the tier that they are, like, that they come in. So for me, they're, you know, these are a bit weak. I do have a good pilot, but they feel a bit weak. They're not doing like a ton of damage. And at the end of the day, if you're going to be picking from sustained weapons that are just in the game, right now minigun is simply just the best one. There's not really a reason to use anything else, because minigun, just the damage of minigun is basically better. If you like, particularly like these weapons, again, if you really like them, they're not bad at all. So if you like them, you can go ahead and, you know, get them and use them. But in general, they're just not gonna they're not gonna serve you better than a minigun would, right? Miniguns are always gonna be better than these weapons, unless, you know, we get some crazy balance change. But, you know, I would say, like, right when you get to the tier that these are in, whatever it is, tier 5 or whatever, the legendary 8 energy weapon tier, right? There are a lot of new options for you to get, and I would say this is probably not the top of the list. We just recently, I had the video when the pod guns came out covering those, and I would say that the pod guns are a better weapon. Pod guns are very solid against mods, and they do function differently because they have permanent tracking, right? They always track up to 100 meters. They are a barrage, and, you know, I would say, you know, nades versus pods, they both serve different purposes. Unlike Viper and Overdriver and Carbine, they're all the same. They all just, you know, they all just fire bullets, right? That's basically all they do. This one shoots some rockets, right? That's a bit unique, but it's not like something that's mechanically very different. Unlike nades or pods, which, you know, they have radius, they have tracking, or they, you know, the nades fire over cover. Cryos, I would say, you know, cryos are kind of like a worse version of nades, but, you know, nades versus pods, they're very different. They're not like the same weapon at all. So, but, you know, Vipers could be worth it. I'm saying especially if you just got to the tier and you need something. But I personally would probably pick pod guns more of the time over these weapons. Not that these are bad. Again, these aren't bad weapons by any means, but they're just not something super special. Very nice. We have an Orion Mark to help us out here. You can see here, though, I'm not really able to cover this beacon. I mean, I am covering this beacon, but I really need to get like another beacon, which I'm not able to do here. We are doing well on kills, though. The enemy player's done a lot, but Thankfully, my team has done a great job of holding down the other side of the map, so this is looking great for us. I think that the enemy player has no of his teammates left. Let's push. It's an Orion with, I think, EM, so I should just be able to push ground. Here we go. Very nice. Tracking, and we got him. Rampage, 9 kills. I've had pretty good success with this, to be honest, but I don't know if it'll be my main weapon for this mech. I do kind of want to try it on something else, though, but I'm not sure what else would do well with these, because, like, I can't get... Oh, no, we're going to die. No. We're going to win on beacons, though. I'm not sure what other mech I have that would do well with the Vipers, but yeah, very nice. Top MVP once again, 9 kills. So that was my overview on the Vipers. They're not a great weapon. They're just kind of middle of the road for assault and sustained fire weapons. I would say they're only really worth it, especially if you just got into tier 5 where the Viper 8 is. The Viper 6 could be worth it. Probably not, though. I'd skip that. Maybe go for the Stormax 6. But the Viper 8 could potentially be worth it. I wouldn't go for the 10, 12, or 16 because those are all for A coins. And in general, minigun is going to be a better sustained fire weapon than the Viper. But yeah, let me know if this video was helpful for you guys and if you're going to be picking up these Vipers after their Gear Hub release today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. If you did enjoy, please like it. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this, especially content on my free-to-play account. Again, thank you guys so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one.